So thank you for joining us today. And we haven't had a webinar for a few weeks because the Police Digital Service team, myself, have been out and about talking to you, our policing technology stakeholders, and even some international policing visitors. So today I'm joined by Mark from Greater Manchester Police, GMP for short, who are today representing the National Police Chiefs Council in terms of an issue that all forces face on a daily and weekly basis. Mark, you're going to brief us on what's known as the Forcer Protocol, which is a national scheme aimed developed in conjunction with the British Army and the Armed Forces and all police forces. And the aim is to reduce harm and risk to our service veterans who go missing, enabling swift access to key information and go through that. So, Mark, perhaps you can explain how the protocol came together and take us through a bit of an input on it so we can all understand it. And please remember, pop your questions in as we go along.
Good afternoon, David, and thank you for the invite. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Forcer Protocol. It wasn't NPCC led originally, it was a GMP pilot and protocol, and it was brought to us by a lady called Claire Lilly. So Claire contacted GMP in late 2023, and we had a good conversation after tragically her husband Alan Forcer took his own life back in 2020, and part of that sort of coroner's inquest was for police forces to have a better system in place to be able to identify veterans first of all, but also put support in place when those veterans do go missing. And we've worked together for the last sort of 2 years to develop what is now the Forcer Protocol, the pilot stage, and now what is the national rollout. So like I said, it is named after Alan Forcer. It's sort of a legacy to his life, really, and how we prevent this tragedy happening again. Next slide, please, Dave. So why do we need the Forcer Protocol? So we are the first force in the country to now ask the question as part of that missing question set. If someone is currently serving, they're a reservist or they are a veteran. No other police force in the country was asking that question. Unfortunately, we don't have any data to suggest how many veterans we do have go missing nationally because we weren't recording that information. 253 veterans took their own lives in 2021. The majority of those whilst missing. You'll probably agree there that those statistics are very high compared to what the veterans population is. Males between 25 and 44 who have served are 2 to 4 times more likely to take their own life than anybody else in the population. So there's a constant ongoing risk there for police services because these people are going missing within our communities, and we need to understand the risk around veterans, and that's where the Forcer Protocol comes in. So approximately 6 to 10% of those that leave the forces before that age will have some form of PTSD. Around 6 to 10% of those will have that PTSD. So, and even if people are engaging in treatment for PTSD, around 66% of those people will still have some form of PTSD at the end of that treatment. So there is a continuous ongoing risk there. Next slide, please. So what is the process? It's really quite straightforward. In policing, my opinion is we need to keep processes really, really simple so people understand them and be able to work with them day to day operationally. So it's a 4-step approach. So the first approach is that community engagement. It's uploading information onto a system that is developed by a company called Safe and Found Online, which I'll come on to very, very shortly. And that's key information about that veteran. Which again, I'll explain very shortly how people do that and the consent around that information. And then as a police force, it's about asking that question as part of your missing set. So asking that question, is someone currently serving? Are they a reservist or are they a veteran? And once we've identified that, then we can then check Safe and Found Online to pull off key information. So first of all, risk assess what the risk is around that veteran, but also to get a better understanding of where that initial investigation needs to start. Stage 3 is the investigation, so that doesn't really change. That police forces do a lot of work around missings anyway. Lots of good work in relation to the golden hour tasks, etc. But what it does, this protocol, it gives you all that key information right at that very early stage. And then stage 4 of the FORSA protocol is the specific veterans pathway, or the single veterans pathway. So we don't do this for any other missing nationally, not that I'm aware at the moment. So for veterans, they get referred into a company called Opnova. They are an NHS organisation. And they can then help and support that veteran and hopefully prevent them going missing again. But again, I'll come on to what Opnova is very, very shortly. Next slide, please. So we've got a video here that we developed here in GMP. This video, actually, this is the first showing of this new version of the video, and it explains sort of fully what the FORSA protocol is. So I'll let David play that for you.
Greater Manchester Police, good morning. So you're reporting a missing person. Can I ask, is the person a veteran or a serving member of the armed forces, please? The Army, Navy or Royal Air Force? Thank you. This log's created on a priority response and officers will be with you shortly.
1715 comms. Please can log 2392 be allocated? This is a high-risk missing veteran. I've started FORSA protocol and updated the golden hour taskings onto the log. Thank you.
Log 2392 is a missing veteran. It falls under the FORSA protocol, so I'm going to check the Safe and Found online database and I'll get the information on the log for the officers.
You chose this man.
Is it Chris? Hiya mate, I'm Nick, you okay? What's going on, pal? Do you want to have a chat with us? But we've had a few calls, mate. We've got a few people who are very worried about you, okay? I believe you're ex-forces, aren't you, mate? I am too, mate. I'm ex-army. I know it can be tough, mate. We need to get you somewhere safe and warm, don't we? Have a chat. You want to come with us? Come get you a brew, get you somewhere warm, yeah? Come on, pal. Let's go and get you somewhere warm and have a chat. Come on.
Every veteran that is located through the FORSA protocol or whilst missing needs to be referred into Opnova to ensure they get the help and support they need. Okay, so I'll talk to you a little bit about Safe and Found Online. So they are a completely independent company from the police. They started their journey in West Yorkshire doing a little bit of work around the Herbert protocol. and we adopted that as part of the Forza protocol. So what they offer is an online portal which allows people to upload their information onto Safe and Found Online, and that information is stored there independently from the police. So they manage all the GDPR around that information. And what is really important for police forces service is that this service is completely free. So your police force won't pay any money to adopt this process. It's completely free nationally, and it's also what is really important for me is it's important that the information, the uploading of information is also free. So people that upload information don't pay any money to retain their information on there, and they get a reminder every 6 months to update their information so it stays current. And we access Safe and Found Online. So once that veteran is identified, it's the Safe and Found Online database that we access and pull that information off from there. So they are now live in 10 different police forces. I think it might be actually 12 now, with some with the Herbert protocol, the majority with the Forza protocol. And we also do the Herbert protocol as an online version in GMP as well. Next slide, please. So the single veterans pathway. So I'd say this is probably the key elements of this protocol to make sure that these people are getting the help and support they need, but also reducing that demand on policing. So we chose Opnova because they are NHS, they are national. Majority of police forces in the UK will use Opnova in their custody suites. So those veterans that are coming into custody as suspects will refer into Opnova to make sure they get some additional support. To make it really straightforward, we decided to use Opnova for the same system for the Forza protocol as well. So as you can see from the posters there on the screen, the one that's on the left-hand side with the very technical yellow arrow is the ones that we display throughout police stations across GM and now nationally. So they're now a national poster. So those posters are available from the NPCC. Where you can insert your own logo into that poster. The one that's on the right, again, a national poster that you can insert your own logo onto, is now displayed throughout Manchester. So it's displayed in hospitals, dental practices, job centres, citizens' advice, etc. Anywhere that someone will sit and wait, that poster is available to be viewed, and then people can interact. So when they interact with that poster, via the QR code, they can do one of two things. So they can upload information onto Safe and Found Online, and I actually missed that part out, so I'll come back to that in a second. Or they can get additional support through that website. So there is local charities on the Safe and Found Online website where that veteran can go to and get additional support. So in relation to the uploading of information, so the veteran can upload the information themselves. It can be done by a third party, so it can be done by any sort of statutory organisation, charity, etc. But it also can be done by family members, and it can be done in sort of two ways. So with consent, so obviously the veteran consents to their own information going on that site, or whether that person doesn't have capacity, and we can do the upload of the information as part of a safeguard element. Yeah, next slide, please. So there's a short video here which sort of explains the work that Opnova do.
Many people who leave the armed forces transition exceptionally well. However, we must also recognise that a significant minority, for a range of reasons, may struggle either during transition or in later life. And for some, that may bring them into contact with the justice system. Many veterans who come into contact with the justice system or may experience vulnerabilities are very reluctant to reach out and ask for support. Opnova has an understanding of those life experiences of our servicemen and our servicewomen, and is there to provide that holistic support through emotional and practical assistance. Opnova is there to support veterans in contact with the justice system, providing support to reduce reoffending and vulnerabilities. This crucial service offers help to veterans and their families, offering emotional support and help to secure housing and employment. Our overall aim is to enable veterans to live stable lives so they can reduce reoffending. As a result, 81% of the veterans we work with state that their mental health and well-being has improved since working with us. 73% of veterans said that they had improved their relationships with their friends and family, with 79% stating that they had improved their anger management.
When that individual's sat in a police cell and then he doesn't know which way to turn, and all of a sudden these guardian angels come up called up and over, yeah, most people would be hesitant. And now as a caseworker, I see that every day. You know, they are hesitant to open up. If that individual gets into up and over, you 87% guaranteed he's not going back in that cell. You know, you can't argue facts or stats.
It's important when the police are interacting with members of the public or people in custody that they ask the question, have you served in HM Armed Forces? But also to add, because potentially you can access additional enhanced support. For those individuals that identify as a veteran, a referral can easily be made to OpNova.
So just to cover OpNova as well a little bit more, so they don't just offer employment or housing support. So if it is a mental health issue, there is other sort of NHS charities like Op Courage, Op Fortitude, etc. for homelessness. So they will actually refer directly into their sort of colleague partners to make sure that person gets the help and support they need. So sort of moving forward, so obviously we did the pilot here in GMP for 6 months. We're just short of 300 veterans located now, 299 veterans located as of last week, which is really, really positive. We weren't even sure if we would have a demand for missing veterans initially, but clearly there is a missing demand. There is a demand nationally, so GM isn't particularly densely populated with veterans. We don't have any barracks, any sort of garrison areas, so there is other areas of the country that will be more densely populated with veterans than we are here in GM. We've got 2.8 million people in Greater Manchester at the moment, and around 7% of those are either veterans or directly linked to a veteran. So longevity-wise, so we've written all the policies for the NPCC, all the presentations. So all that information is all available through the NPCC, through Alan Rees-Cooper, who's the staff officer for Marm Hankinson, the National Missing Lead. So all that information is available to you there if you want to take those policies and adapt those to your own forces. But we thought it was really, really important to make sure that it is written into policy. As you know, police services do lots of different work around tackling different demand, and it doesn't always have that longevity. So we wanted to make sure it was written into policy and it remains within policy. It's part of our training school. So all the new officers that join GMP get an input on the force protocol, how it works and what the risk is around missing veterans. Communication-wise, there's been lots of communication nationally, lots of communication internally, but what is the sort of key learning point from us is that key engagement with your communities, speaking to those local charities, speaking to those veterans breakfast clubs, doing those presentations, having a real interaction with that community, start getting that information onto Safe and Found online. We've recently had contact with Oldham Athletic. So Oldham Athletic are the first football club in the UK to formally support the FORTA protocol. Lots of veterans go and watch football, sporting events, etc. And we're now linking in with the FA to see whether that's something we can do at a national level to try and get the information out there, get the FORTA protocol on that national stage and get people upload information. And then what is sort of really proud moment for us here is that the NPCC now have adopted this as part of that national rollout and are supporting us with that national rollout. And that's really important that it gets that sort of top level accreditation. So yeah, really good. Next slide, please, David. Awards wise, and this is not to blow our own trumpet whatsoever, it's just to say that it has been recognised nationally. So Claire, who's obviously the founder of the FORTA protocol, has won Most Inspirational Woman of the Year 24 and Most Inspirational Adult, which is really proud moment for her and her family for the work she's put into this protocol, but also the team who won the Lord Lieutenant's Award for Manchester for service to veterans. So it is getting the recognition it deserves. Obviously, NPCC are now fully support it because of the positive impact it's having, and it's not just having a positive impact on missing people, but it's having a positive impact, I think, across policing, that we understand the risk more around veterans and the more support going in place for veterans, because the referral into Opnova doesn't have to just come from missing people. It can come from, if you come across someone who's homeless, come across someone at a domestic violence incident, etc., you can still refer into Nova to make sure that they're getting additional support. Maybe it's employment that they need, or housing, or something else. So it's really important that it's not just for missings. It does actually increase overall referrals into Opnova. The next slide, please. That's just a little piece there from Ma'am Hankinson. So she's supporting, like I said before, the national rollout of the force protocol. And then the actor Ross Kemp. Some people will know who Ross Kemp is, some people won't. Used to be on EastEnders. I think he does Bridge of Lies now or something on ITV. So he's the ambassador for Safe and Found Online, and has done a lot of work with veterans, been in Afghanistan, done a lot of TV programmes around the sort of hardships of veterans. So he is fully supportive of this, and had family members, again, with dementia, but also that are veterans that have suffered. So he's fully on board and supporting the force protocol. Next slide, please. Then it's just a big thank you from Claire, really. Thank you for, first of all, coming, listening to the work that we're doing here in Greater Manchester and now in 9 other forces across the UK. We want to try and get every force in the UK signed up to the force protocol by the end of 2026, and earlier if we can. This means a lot to Claire. It means a lot to her family. Obviously, they've lost a husband, they've lost a father to Alan's son. So it's just really important that we continue this work and try and prevent that from happening longer term to other veterans. Next slide, please. And then it's contact details, really. So this is NPCC led. Obviously, a lot of the work we did here in Greater Manchester. So please do contact us at Greater Manchester, because myself and my team, and when I say team, there's two of us, myself and Jeff Hurst, who are working on the force protocol. Please do email that email address there, the force protocol @gmp.police.uk, and we will assist any force across the UK to implement this in their with their own police systems, their own policies, etc. Follow what we have. Obviously, if you have already signed up and you want to know more information, then speak to your force lead on the force protocol. But please do reach out. We do reply. We do have Teams meetings. We do have conversations. So please do reach out. Please do contact us at GMP, because we will have those conversations with you. And we have helped the other 9 forces sign up already, and we will help you as a force to do exactly the same. Like I said, it is completely free. So for me, and this is me being from Bolton, it's a no-brainer, this, because there's no cost to policing. It's free for you to do, and it helps you understand the risk around veterans. So it's something that for me, you have to do, and it's really quite straightforward to implement as well.
Thanks, Mark. And if anyone else has got any more questions, just please pop them into the chat. But I've got a couple for you straight away. And it is that as I used to say, maybe not the no-brainer, but why wouldn't you do this? One of the barriers gets put up is DPIA, data sharing, etc. So I say you've done your DPIA. You'd be happy to share that with other forces if they needed to.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've got there's now a national agreement in place. There's a national sharing agreement that have been done between Safe and Found Online and the National Police Chiefs Council, which covers all police forces that are covered by the NPCC. So all that information is there for you to take and use.
That's brilliant. And the question, one of the things I saw in the video was that there was a download from the Safe and Well Online, which means basically in order to protect policing the audit trails that we rightly have, you can take the information down and put it into the force systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So they can extract it in a couple of ways. So they can have it sent to them via email. So it's all protected. So when you have a missing, you find the details online. It's a bit like when you do with your bank. You click on it to ask for a code. Safe and Found Online send you a code, and it's all auditable. So they know exactly who's been on the record, how long someone's been on it for, etc., who's downloaded it, and then that information can be pulled off the system and used as part of your initial investigation. But it's information that we would gather as a police force during the course of that investigation. It's not, none of this is real rocket science stuff. But what it is key about this is it gives you that information within minutes of the call coming in, instead of spending, could be days before you get that information.
Absolutely, and we all know that our MISPA systems in forces do allow you to look back at records. So if this is done once, it could be even faster as well in the future. So there's lots of data, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't go back and check, because it could be updated.
No, I think there's real potential moving forward. So we've already had a conversation with Safe and Found Online about this, because it's not just about veterans, is it? This is about, they do the Herbert protocol with some forces, and there is scope to do other elements, maybe for the Philomena protocol, etc., for children. So there's a scope that actually, if anybody's vulnerable in our communities, that their information could be stored by Safe and Found Online or a similar format, and then that information is available to us when that person is reported missing.
Absolutely. I've had a comment in from Steve Lowe. I think you may know who he is. He's if any of the police regions forces want to know more about Operation Nova, they can email him. His chat is in there. We'll put it into the recording of the video, and they'll put them in touch with us. The regional manager for every force area, isn't there, for Nova? So lots of information available for people. Thank you so much, Mark. There's a lot covered there, and I'm sure we'll get some more questions. And please feel free to share this recording on in your forces with people as we move forward. It's time to start wrapping it up as we come to the bottom of the hour. So a couple of things from myself at the moment. We are taking nominations right now for the annual Digital Data and Technology Awards, the DDAT Awards, Digital Awards, run on behalf of the National Police Chiefs Council. We did them last year for the very first time. I had well over 130 nominations through. We've already had lots of people requesting the nomination forms, and we are getting the actual nominations through now. There's about just over 30 days to get your actual nominations in now. So if you want to get your team recognised, or a project, a solution, or an individual who's making a difference by using digital data, technology and innovation to actually help the front line to do things like we've seen today, please get your nominations in. It's a very simple approach. You just go over to the PDS website, navigate through to the awards, and you can fill in your details, and that'll send you the correct form for the category you're nominating for, because obviously with each different category, there's a slightly different requirement for allowing the judges to score up who should win. And then that brings on to other events that are coming up. An awful lot of events going on at the moment as we come towards into the spring, into the summer. So there's a Northwest Regional taking place today. That's where Rachel is. We're going to be at the Modernising Criminal Justice Conference tomorrow, so look out for the purple badges from the PDS team. I'll be down there in London as well. We've got a couple of webinars coming up as well. We've got the Office of the Police Chief Scientific Advisor coming back with the Police Problem Book. We're going to be talking third-party assurance, which is going to be very interesting for the suppliers, potentially, maybe not for some of our operational colleagues. And there's a few more events coming up there, including the Emergency Technology Show, which you can now register at, and you'll be able to come and see us at the stand. And we are looking for content for the stand and the speakers. We have a stage that we've secured there with some more information for that. But I think the biggest event that's taking up most of my time, to be fair, is the National Summit that's taking place in Liverpool in October. We are about to start registering formally, but to do that, we want you to pre-register. I know it sounds complicated. It's dead simple, really. Put your details into the website so we know who you are. And because we are expecting to be oversubscribed in terms of attendance, and even though I'm looking at increasing the numbers now, we want to make sure we're getting a fair share of representation from all the forces. So if you fill in your details, you'll then be invited to formally register. And if you're in law enforcement, it'll be free of charge to attend. And I've even got some discount hotel rooms from with the local authorities over there. So please just pre-register, and then we'll start getting details out to you as they come in and get that moving through. I mentioned before the Emergency Technology Show. Again, this is a partnership. We're working very closely with the organisers on this. We want to put police technology, police innovation right front and centre at this show. So we are going to be taking some of the content ideas forward for that. And we usually end up doing a webinar live from the show as well. So we'll be looking for content for that. But in the meantime, there's over 130 webinars now on the platform. So if you want to go back and play them back, please do. And of course, we do love your feedback on the webinars. And if you've got a suggestion, we had one through just the other week, which we are working on right now to bring that content to life for you. So please get in touch with us through the contact us form. But Mark, thank you so much for sharing that today. Really interesting webinar, perhaps a little bit different from the technology user experiences, but this technology is enabling us to protect the public from harm in this protocol. It takes effort, but it's fantastic that we've been able to cover that. So thanks for your time today, Mark. Give my regards to Jeff, who couldn't be with us today for operational reasons. But thanks very much for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Take care.